You've heard of Medusa, the Minotaur, Cerberus. But Greek mythology is much darker, deeper, and stranger than the usual heroic tales we grew up with. Beneath the surface, there are monsters that rarely get mentioned, twisted, tragic, and terrifying creatures that haunted the dreams of the ancient Greeks. Today, we're going to meet some of the most underrated monsters in Greek mythology, the ones you've probably never heard of, but will absolutely never forget. Let's start with Emposa. She's one of the most mysterious and terrifying figures in the mythological underworld. A servant of Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, night, and ghosts, Empousa would roam the earth at night, taking on the form of beautiful women to seduce young men. But once they fell asleep, she'd reveal her true form and drink their blood. In some stories, she has one leg made of bronze and the other made of animal dung. Yes, ancient myths had a thing for disturbing details. Empousa wasn't just a monster. She represented dangerous temptation, false appearances, and the fear of being deceived by what looks beautiful on the outside. Then there's Lamia. She too started as a mortal queen, known for her beauty, and like many women in Greek myth, she caught the attention of Zeus. But when Hera found out, she cursed Lamia by killing her children. The grief drove her insane. Lamia became a monstrous creature, half woman, half serpent, wandering the world and stealing children to devour in revenge. Some versions say she couldn't sleep, tormented by the memory of her lost children, so she would rip out her own eyes at night. Lamia became a symbol of motherly sorrow turned into rage, a distorted reflection of loss, envy, and madness. Now let's talk about Akidna. You may not know her name, but you definitely know her kids, the Chimera, the Hydra, Cerberus, the Sphinx, and many more. Echidna was known as the mother of monsters. She was half beautiful woman, half snake, and completely immortal. She lived in a hidden cave deep beneath the earth and gave birth to nearly every major beast that Greek heroes like Heracles or Perseus had to fight. While she rarely appears in myths herself, Echidna is the root of so many mythological threats. She's not just a background character, she's the origin of chaos. Another creature few people talk about is Morma. She was also a servant of Hecate and acted almost like a mythological boogie woman. She would shapeshift and sneak into homes at night to frighten or punish disobedient children. Some stories say she ate them. Unlike many other monsters, Morma wasn't part of heroic epics. She lived in whispers, used by parents and storytellers to keep kids in line. The fact that she shows up in philosophical texts shows how real she felt to the people of the time. Morma was fear itself, passed down through oral tradition. And then there's Sylas. You might remember her from the Odyssey. She's the monster who devours 6 of Odysseus' men in one of the most horrifying moments of the journey. But what's often forgotten is her backstory. Sylas began life as a sea nymph, beautiful, kind, and innocent. But she was cursed out of jealousy, transformed into a grotesque sea beast with 6 dog heads sprouting from her waist and long serpent tails. She didn't choose this form, it was forced on her. Sylas' story reminds us that in Greek myth, not all monsters are born evil. Some are made. Greek mythology is full of creatures like these, monsters who were once human or divine or even victims themselves. They embody fears we still recognize today: deception, loss, rage, grief, transformation, and the unknown. And while they may not be the stars of the big myths, they deserve their place in the pantheon of horror and legend. Which of these monsters do you think is the most terrifying or the most tragic? Let me know in the comments, and if you want a part 2 with even weirder and darker mythological creatures like Typhon or the Keres, hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more myth where this came from. Until next time, stay curious and maybe don't wander too far after dark.